The stage lights of America's Got Talent 2025 shimmer like 1,000 stars as the next contestant walks out. A hush falls over the crowd when a young Filipino man steps into the spotlight, dressed in a sparkling white jumpsuit reminiscent of Elvis Presley's iconic Vegas look. His hair is slicked back, his posture confident yet humble. The cameras zoom in as Simon Cowell squints, slightly amused, his trademark skeptical smile curling at the corner of his lips. The contestant grips the microphone, his hands steady but eyes glimmering with quiet determination. "Good evening, judges," he says warmly, his accent gentle yet clear. "My name is Rafael Cruz, and I came all the way from the Philippines to share a little bit of Elvis, my way." The audience chuckles softly, some clap, others exchange doubtful looks. A Filipino Elvis? On the world's biggest stage? Even Heidi Klum laughs playfully, whispering to Sofia Vergara, "This should be fun." Simon leans forward, elbows on the table. "So, Rafael," he says, his tone curious but challenging, "you think you can bring back the king?" Rafael smiles, eyes shining. "Not bring him back, sir, just remind the world he never really left." The crowd reacts, a mix of laughter and intrigue, as the stage darkens, leaving Rafael bathed in a single spotlight. The murmurs fade into silence. The first soft chord from the band fills the theater, and Rafael adjusts the mic stand, closing his eyes briefly as if saying a silent prayer. In that moment, the lights, the tension, and the skeptical stares fade away. There's only the stage, the dream, and the promise of something extraordinary about to happen. The moment before the first note, that breath, is pure magic. The theater is silent, not a cough, not a whisper. A single spotlight glows on Rafael as he takes a deep breath and leans into the microphone. The soft piano intro to "Can't Help Falling in Love" begins, delicate and haunting. Then, he sings the first note. The sound that fills the air is astonishing, rich, warm, and velvety, with the unmistakable timbre of Elvis Presley himself. The audience collectively inhales, their skepticism evaporating in an instant. Rafael's voice is not mimicry, it's pure soul, channeling nostalgia and heartache. His tone is controlled yet overflowing with emotion. Each word floats through the auditorium, wrapping the crowd in a golden hush. Simon Cowell's smirk fades completely. His eyes narrow, but not in judgment, in awe. He glances at the other judges, who are equally transfixed. Heidi's hand covers her mouth, Sofia leans forward, whispering, "He sounds exactly like Elvis, but younger." Howie Mandel simply shakes his head, whispering, "Unbelievable." Rafael stands perfectly still, his eyes half closed, lost in the song. The camera pans over the audience, some smile in disbelief, others wipe tears. He's not just singing, he's reliving Elvis's passion, bringing the music back to life in a way that feels sacred. As the melody swells, Rafael opens his eyes and looks directly into the camera, his expression full of sincerity. "Take my hand," he sings, voice trembling with emotion. The connection between performer and audience becomes electric. It's not a performance anymore, it's a resurrection of something timeless. When he finishes the verse, there's a heartbeat of silence before the applause, that perfect, weightless second when everyone realizes they've witnessed something extraordinary. Simon, for once, is speechless. Seeing Rafael's full range, the soft ballad fades, and suddenly, the stage explodes with energy. The lights flash red and blue, and a familiar guitar riff electrifies the air. The band kicks into "Jailhouse Rock", and Rafael spins on his heel with effortless rhythm. The crowd gasps in surprise, then erupts into cheers. The quiet crooner from the Philippines has transformed into a rock and roll powerhouse before their eyes. He swings his hips with that unmistakable Elvis swagger, snapping the mic stand, his voice booming across the theater. His charisma radiates, it's playful, confident, and utterly magnetic. The backup lights pulse like old concert strobes, the stage floor glowing in retro gold. Even the LED screen behind him bursts into a montage of vintage Elvis footage blended with Rafael's live performance, a bridge between past and present. The audience rises to their feet, clapping in rhythm. Heidi is laughing and dancing in her chair. Sophia shouts over the music, "He's incredible." Howie throws his hands up, grinning from ear to ear. But the real surprise is Simon Cowell, the toughest critic on the panel. He's leaning forward, eyes wide, his lips twitching into a grin. He nods slowly, visibly impressed, even mouthing, "Wow." Rafael then transitions seamlessly into Suspicious Minds, his voice deepening, blending power with emotion. The crowd sings along, swaying to the beat, phones lighting up the darkened hall like stars. The performance becomes not just entertainment, but an event, a celebration of legacy reborn. As the final chorus hits, Rafael points skyward and shouts, "Thank you very much," in classic Elvis style. The audience explodes into applause, chanting his name. The Filipino Elvis has officially conquered the AGT stage. The music begins to soften, signaling the climax of Rafael's breathtaking performance. The flashing lights dim to a golden hue, and the audience, though still buzzing with energy, begins to quiet down. Rafael stands center stage, chest heaving slightly from the intensity of his rock and roll medley. He glances toward the judges, Simon, Heidi, Sophia, and Howie, all on the edge of their seats, eyes locked on him. Then, the melody transitions smoothly back into "Can't Help Falling in Love." He grips the microphone with both hands and closes his eyes. His voice, now gentle and trembling with emotion, carries across the vast auditorium. "Take my whole life too." The purity in his tone sends shivers down the spine of every listener. It's as though Elvis's spirit is alive again, but this time through the heart of a young Filipino dreamer. The crowd sways, spellbound, as the lights fade to a single spotlight. Rafael drops to one knee as he belts the final line, "For I can't help falling in love with you." The note holds, impossibly long, pure, and powerful. For a moment, there's absolute silence, a silence heavy with awe. Then, the theater erupts. The audience leaps to their feet, screaming and applauding. Some wave their hands in disbelief, others are wiping tears. Heidi and Sophia stand instantly, clapping above their heads. Howie whistles loudly, pointing at Rafael like a proud fan. But it's Simon who steals the moment. Usually composed and calculating, he stands slowly, mouth slightly open, shaking his head in wonder. Then, without a word, he slams his hand down on the golden buzzer. The confetti bursts in a rain of gold. Rafael's eyes widen in shock as he drops the mic, overwhelmed. The king has, indeed, returned. In spirit and song, gold confetti still glitters in the air as Rafael stands frozen, tears glistening in his eyes. The crowd continues to roar, chanting his name, "Rafael. Rafael." While the iconic golden buzzer moment plays out in slow motion on the big screen above him. The judges rush to the stage, clapping and smiling. Heidi hugs him first, laughing, "You're the sweetest Elvis I've ever seen." Sophia adds, "You didn't just sing, you became the music." Rafael bows, still speechless, clutching his chest as if to keep his heart from bursting. Simon Cowell steps forward, expression unreadable for a moment. Then he smiles, a rare, genuine smile. "I've heard hundreds of Elvis impersonators," he says, his voice steady but full of emotion. "But that wasn't imitation. That was magic. You didn't copy Elvis. You channeled him." The audience cheers wildly, cameras flash, and Rafael's family is shown backstage crying with joy, waving the Filipino flag high in the air. Backstage moments later, Rafael sits in front of a glowing AGT sign, still covered in gold sparkles. A reporter asks how he feels. He takes a deep breath and says softly, "When I was a boy in Manila, my father played Elvis every Sunday. We didn't have much, but we had music, and that made us feel rich. Tonight, I just wanted to honor that memory." The clip goes viral within hours, millions of views, headlines blazing across the internet. Filipino Elvis leaves Simon Cowell speechless, the king lives on. In homes around the world, people smile, inspired by the voice that crossed oceans and generations. Rafael Cruz, the boy who dared to sing like the king, had done more than perform. He reminded the world what dreams, heart, and music can do.